I never imagined those words would slip from my lips. Not to him, not to the man who chose me, who stayed beside me through every mood swing, every doubt. But they did, falling out like a bitter truth I never meant to reveal. Miss the way he used to love me, I whispered, almost as if confessing to myself. But my husband heard every word. He froze. His shoulders tense before he turned around. I'll never forget that look, like I had just shattered something fragile and sacred between us. He didn't yell. He didn't demand an explanation. He just stared at me as though the woman in front of him was a stranger. And in that silence, something inside me splintered. You see, love with my husband was safe, steady, gentle. He was the man who always texted before driving home, who folded the laundry without being asked, who rubbed my feet after long days. He was warmth. He was calm after the storm. Love with my ex, that was another world. It was fire, messy, consuming, reckless, yet intoxicating. He made me feel like I was the only woman alive. His love was loud, wild, dangerous. And somewhere in the years of peace I built with my husband, a small, reckless part of me started craving that chaos again. Not the man, just the feeling. I told myself it was harmless, just thoughts, just memories. But they grew until one night, in weakness or raw honesty, I said it loud. And I watched the man I built my life with break before my eyes. He said nothing that night. He only went stairs. I sat on the couch, wrapped in guilt like a blanket I couldn't shed. Every creak of the floor, every closing door echoed like thunder, and the silence between us roared louder than any fight we could have had. The next morning I heard drawers, zippers, hangers clinking. I rushed upstairs to see him calmly folding shirts, slipping them into a case. What are you doing? He asked, voice trembling. He looked at me with tired, broken eyes and said, "You're still in love with someone else. Maybe not him, but the idea of him can't compete with a ghost." I begged him to stay, told him I didn't mean it that way, that I loved him, that I needed him. He said, "You want a feeling I can't give. And I can't keep breaking myself to try." That's when it hit me how much he had already bent to be everything I needed, and how recklessly I had tossed it aside for a fantasy. He kissed my forehead before leaving. No anger, just sadness, just finality. Then he was gone. Days bled into weeks. The house grew emptier than I ever dreamed. His side of the bed stayed cold, his coffee mug untouched. The routines, the good mornings, the dinners, the weekend movies gone. All I had left were echoes and the crushing weight of regret. Checked my phone endlessly, hoping he might text, even just to ask how I was. But nothing came. People think heartbreak is loud. It isn't. It's quiet. It's in the way you whisper his name when no one's listening. It's in the way your chest jumps at headlights outside, praying it's in the silence at dinner that drowns your thoughts. That's when I realized the love I craved, the wild, burning kind, wasn't love at all. It was an addiction to chaos, to the unknown. And my husband had given me what I truly needed: security, steadiness, a partner. And I had destroyed it. One night I found one of his shirts in the laundry. Pressed it to my face, breathing in the scent of a life I ruined, and sobbed. Sobbed for the man I hurt, for the woman I had become, for the love I failed to guard. A few days later I sent him a message. "I'm sorry," I wrote. "You deserved better. I was foolish to compare your love to something broken. You were everything I needed, and I was too blind to see it." He read it but never replied. And I didn't blame him. He had every right to guard his heart now, to move on. to find someone who would never doubt his love. Sometimes the weight of our words doesn't show right away. Sometimes it takes time, and when it lands, it's irreversible. I told my husband I missed how my ex loved me, but the truth is I missed the version of myself that once felt worthy of wild passion. I never saw how deeply my husband loved me, how fully, how patiently, until he walked away. I live in a house filled with memories. Set the table for one. I sleep alone. Sit in the silence I created. And only now do I truly see what I lost. If you've ever doubted the love of someone who chose you every single day, pause. Think. Cherish. Don't let fleeting feelings steal the steady hands that held you through storms. Share this story if it reached your heart, and let it remind you that some love stories are worth saving before they slip away forever.